Hi, Nell.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm topside.
We have made it through the busiest part of our year, and it is now 2026.
It is.
So, welcome to a new year for all of our listeners.
Right?
And we are going to be doing something a little different today. I know we've been focusing mainly on homesteading topics and kitty cat. Sorry, the cat just passed some gas and hey, that is my foot. Don't bite. Wow, that was.
It's a good thing that
You can't
my
smell.
sinuses love me so much.
And it's a good thing people can't smell through through their speakers.
Right.
But I wanted to start by giving a shout out to our listeners. We now have listeners in Europe and looks like a couple more listeners in Asia specifically. Let's see. We have people in Singapore, Canada, Czechia. Czechia? Sure. Czechia? Czechia? United Kingdom. Obviously the United States, because that's where we're based out of. So cities would include Minneapolis, Minnesota, Plainfield, Connecticut, Cresson, Pennsylvania, Markham, Ontario, Gibson, British Columbia, Coriopolis, Pennsylvania, Manchester, Cottage Grove, Minnesota, Santa Ana, California. That's not what it's giving me, though. It's not giving me any more. Should be others. I don't know why. So, yeah, congratulations to us, I guess, and welcome additional listeners all around the world. We are happy to have you. So glad that you're here and listening, and we would love, for you to share and continue enjoying our podcast.
We would love to even share that with everybody else.
Yes, we would love to have some listener stories, especially in parts of the world that are different from our own, so that we know if there's different challenges that you face that, maybe we could give you some advice to help you overcome. Maybe different environments, different soil types, weather, whatever. Just let us know and we'll do the research and hopefully we can come up with something that will help you, because that's why we're here.
Exactly.
So today we are going to be actually doing, like I said, we're going to be doing something a little different. It's January, so there's not a whole lot in the northern hemisphere that we can be doing regarding homesteading, as where we are, the ground is frozen and covered in snow and ice, and we can't really do any gardening.
Well, what you can do, though, is start your seeds.
Well, yes.
Certain ones.
Yeah, now would be a good time to start very specific plants and or herbs that require a longer production time. If especially those plants where you need 100 days before you even get a crop. But I wanted to do a review because some of the things that you need in homesteading are resources. And one of the things that I've been utilizing is a magazine that I subscribed to about 3 years ago before I owned my home, when I was in an apartment and trying to figure out how to do homesteading in a very urban setting. So I'm going to talk about that today, and Nell's just kind of put in some 2 cents here and there, and
Here for the ride.
and the commentary. Welcome, witches, pagans, heathens, spiritualists, and anyone interested in living sustainably. This is
Old Ways, New Days, where the old ways meet the good dirt.
I'm Kayla.
And I'm Nell. And each week we explore the sacred art of living close to the land. From compost to covens, chickens to charms,
We're reclaiming self-sufficiency, seasonal living, and ancestral wisdom.
Whether you're stirring your cauldron or your soup pot,
This is a space for wild-hearted folk walking the homesteading path with intention, magic, and muddy boots. So welcome back, homesteaders and listeners and everybody. Today, like I said, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic publications in self-reliance community. It is the Backwoods Home Magazine. Whether you're a seasoned homesteader or just starting your journey towards self-sufficiency, this review, I hope, will help you decide if this magazine deserves a spot on your coffee table or in your survival library. We'll explore everything from the content quality to practical value, subscription options, and whether Backwoods Home Magazine truly lives up to its legendary reputation.
ooh,
Yeah. So let's start with some history. Backwoods Magazine isn't just another homesteading publication, it's an institution. Founded in 1989 by Dave Duffy, this magazine has been serving the self-reliance community for over 3 decades. That's longer than many of us have been homesteading. I know, definitely longer than I have. This magazine's tagline says it all. Practical ideas for self-reliant living, which is kind of,
what we're trying to do.
yes, and kind of our tagline as well. And that's exactly what sets it apart from the glossy, Pinterest-perfect homesteading magazines that have flooded the market in recent years. Backwoods Home is published quarterly. That means you get 4 very meaty physical issues per year. Each issue typically runs between 96 to 128 pages, packed with articles, how-to guides, and real-world advice from experienced homesteaders, not influencers playing farm for the camera. The magazine covers everything from gardening and food preservation, alternative energy and off-grid living, livestock management, DIY construction projects, firearms and self-defense, food storage and emergency preparedness, natural health and home remedies, and so much more.
Sounds like one that I might even have to pick up.
And it's relatively well in with most people's budget. So let's talk now about what really matters. The content. What everybody wants to know. What is in that?
What's in it?
What's in that meaty subscription you get?
Tell me more.
So I've been reading Backwoods Home for about the past 3 years, and I've got a stack of these back issues that I still reference. The writing style in Backwoods Home is refreshingly straightforward. These aren't lifestyle writers trying to romanticize chicken coops. These are actual homesteaders, contractors, veterinarians, and survival experts sharing hard-won knowledge. Take, for example, a recent article on building a root cellar. The author didn't just show you pretty pictures, they walked you through the entire process, including common mistakes, cost breakdown, and regional considerations for different climates. Something that's extremely important because not everybody lives in the same climate.
Nope.
And that's the level of detail you get consistently with each publication.
That's awesome.
Yes. So practical application in every article. So I've tried to implement from this magazine. Everything has worked. Let me repeat that. Every single application. From Jackie Clay Atkinson's canning recipes to John Shuey's mushroom foraging articles. The information is tested, it's reliable, and it's actionable. I used their guide to plant and grow and harvest heirloom tomatoes last spring, and the results were exactly what they said, resulting in early fruiting for a longer, extended harvest season. That's the kind of practical value you're paying for.
Don't mind that background noise. It's just somebody in the kitchen banging stuff around, thinking he knows how to cook.
That's the fiance cleaning up the kitchen so dinner can be made later. Alright, so and then let's talk about the contributors, because this is where Backwoods Homes really shines. So Jackie Clay Atkinson has been the Ask Jackie columnist for years, and her canning and preserving expertise is unmatched. She's helped thousands of homesteaders safely preserve food. Masad Ayoub, A-Y-O-O-B,
Masad Ayoub
brings decades of firearms and self-defense expertise. Whether you're new to guns or experienced, his articles are educational gold. And I don't have an opinion one way or another on firearms, as long as you're safe with them.
I grew up around them, so they don't bother me. But, do I own any? No. Do I have access to them? If I need to, yeah. But
So, yep, and that's as far as the opinion extends. Yeah, same.
But I use mine for hunting.
Yeah.
We were avid hunters, and now with everybody so much older and not really getting out like we used to.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is because the land is disappearing.
Right. This constant need to build. Yeah.
And it hurts.
It does. It really does. So, but anyway, these writers, they aren't random freelancers. They're regular contributors who've built relationships with readers over years. So what makes Backwoods Homes different from other homesteading magazines? Let me break it down. There's no fluff. There's no 10 cute ways to decorate your chicken coop.
Why not?
Every article serves a purpose. If you're looking for Instagram-worthy farm aesthetic content, this is not your magazine. But if you want to know how to actually keep those chickens alive through winter, you're in the right place.
Well, that's good.
Yes. Point 2, that it's politically independent. Backwoods Homes does not preach. They respect that homesteaders come from all political backgrounds and focus on what unites us, the desire for self-reliance and independence. You won't find partisan rhetoric cluttering up your gardening advice. Third is archives worth their weight in gold. The magazine maintains an incredible online archive. Subscribers get access to decades of back issues, and you can search by topic. Need an article on building a smokehouse from 1997? It's there. I know, that would be my next big project, a nice smokehouse. Want to compare modern solar panel setups with older systems? You can do that too. 4, budget-conscious approach. Unlike some publications that assume every reader has unlimited funds, the dream, of course, Backwoods Home consistently features budget-friendly solutions. They understand that most of us are homesteading to save money.
What?
What a weird concept.
Who'd have thunk?
Right? And not spend our life savings on a fancy greenhouse. They understand that most of us are homesteading to save money, not spend our life savings on a fancy greenhouse. Where this magazine has areas of improvement, so let's be honest, no publication is perfect, and Backwoods Homes has a few areas that could use improvement. So critique number 1 would be their website and digital experience. The website is functional, but dated. In 2024, when most magazines have sleek digital platforms, Backwoods Homes' online presence feels like it's stuck in the early 2000s. The digital edition is basically a PDF of the print version. No interactive features, no embedded videos, no enhanced content. For some readers, this simplicity might actually be a plus, but for younger homesteaders who are digital natives, it can feel chunky. The second critique is limited visual appeal. The magazine prioritizes substance over style, which is generally good, but occasionally the layout can feel cramped, and photos are sometimes small or low quality. When you're trying to follow a complex building project, larger diagrams and photos would be helpful. The third critique is advertising. Like most magazines, Backwoods Home runs on ads. Most are relevant, seed companies, tool manufacturers, homesteading products. But there are quite a few, especially toward the back of each issue, that are not overwhelming, but it's noticeable. Here's the thing. These criticisms are minor compared to the value you'll get. I'd rather have dense, information-packed pages with some ads than a beautiful magazine with shallow content.
Mm-hmm. And that's what most magazines of any sort really are. There's ads, because the ads pay for the content that the magazine is supplying.
And keep the price low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now everyone is wondering, since we talked about price.
Right.
So subscription options and value. So let's talk about the money. Is Backwoods Home Magazine worth the investment? As of 2024, a 1-year subscription of 4 issues costs about $24.95 for the print edition. That's roughly $4.16 per issue. The digital edition is slightly cheaper at around $19.95 per year. It can also buy individual issues for about $6.95, but the subscription is obviously the better deal if you're committed. Think about it this way. One good article that saves you from a costly mistakes pays for the entire year's subscription. When I learned the proper way to winterize my water system, from a Backwoods Home article, I avoided what could have been hundreds of dollars in a burst pipe. So, yeah, that's huge. Plus, subscriber benefits include access to the digital archives, occasional special reports from bonus content, which you get through email. And I think those on a weekly or even a monthly basis, if I check my email.
What is that?
I know, right? Print edition ships directly to your mailbox. There's no newsstand hunting required. It comes right in the mail.
What's a newsstand?
What's a newsstand?
We don't have those around here.
Only at Barnes & Noble, right?
Pretty much.
So now, to compare it with other homesteading magazines, Mother Earth News, which my mom subscribed to when I was a kid, so I remember seeing that, and I flipped through that a little bit as a child. It's roughly about the same. It's $24 a year. You get 6 issues, so similarly priced. It's broader, eco-focused, less depth on specific homesteading skills. Countryside Magazine, which is about $26 a year, 6 issues, comparable content, slightly different focus area. And Grit, about $22 a year, also 6 issues, more rural lifestyle, less hardcore homesteading. So Backwoods Home sits firmly in the I'm a serious homesteader category. It's not casual reading, it's very much educational. So who should subscribe to this magazine? It's perfect for a serious homesteader. If you're actually living the lifestyle, not just dreaming about it, this magazine will become a trusted resource. Anybody who is an off-grid enthusiast, the regular coverage of alternative energy, water system, and self-sufficient...
See, now it got you.
I know. All right. Off-grid enthusiasts, the regular coverage of alternative energy, water systems, and self-sufficient living is invaluable. Preppers and survivalists, food storage, security, emergency preparedness, it's all here without the fear-mongering you find in some survival publications. DIY builders, if you like building your own infrastructure. Nearly every issue has construction projects with actual plans. Budget-conscious learners, articles consistently focus on affordable solutions and working within financial constraints. It is not ideal for casual gardeners. If you just have a backyard garden and aren't interested in broader self-reliance topics, you might find it too comprehensive. Urban dwellers, while there's some applicable content, much of the magazine assumes you have land and space, which, can be a little overwhelming. People wanting quick tips. This isn't a quick read magazine. Articles are detailed and do require attention, as they are very in-depth. Those seeking modern design. If aesthetics and modern layout matter to you, you might be disappointed. So what's the final verdict? The bottom line, Backwoods Magazine gets a solid 4 out of 5 stars from me. It loses half a point for the dated digital experience and occasional cramped layouts, but those are minor issues in the grand scheme of things, and loses another half point for its lack of flexibility for urban homesteaders. The strengths, so a quick recap: exceptional content quality and depth, expert contributors with real-world experience, practical, actionable advice. Can I say
Actionable?
actionable? My mouth is so dry. Practical, actionable advice, excellent value for money, extensive archive access, no-nonsense approach to self-reliance. The weaknesses include dated website and digital platform, could use better photography and layouts, not ideal for casual or urban readers. My recommendation: if you're serious about homesteading, self-reliance, or preparedness, subscribe. Period. This magazine has earned its place on my shelf, and I reference back issues constantly. For $25 a year, you're getting access to decades of accumulated wisdom from people who actually live this lifestyle. That's worth far more than the cover price. Start with a 1-year subscription. If you're like most homesteaders I know, you'll end up keeping every issue and referring back to them for years to come. So, that's our first comprehensive review of a resource.
Mm-hmm.
I figure January is probably the best time to do that for our listeners, as there's not much else to do at this time of year.
Right, except for, like I said earlier, to start some of your seeds that do take longer to produce fruits, and even some of your flowers that attract the pollinators that need to, move and help those seeds actually
Produce
and
Yeah.
all that jazz.
Well, and it would be nice to have a bunch of flowers already in bloom, right as the snow melts and as the bees are just starting to wake up.
Absolutely. And maybe that's what we can do for next week's episode, is we can have a list of what we can start planting in January,
Okay.
and which ones actually like to be potted in pots.
Yeah.
For like myself.
With your townhome deck garden.
Right. So hopefully I can convince the boyfriend to let me add some more tiers or something. Who knows?
Yeah. So, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What are your favorite regular features? If you would like us to do more reviews going forward, especially in the downtime of the year.
Yep. If you have any recommendations of what we should, look into and maybe covering.
If you want us to try some aquaponics, I would love to try aquaponics at least once. We would definitely, I think it would be a blast for us to try that and give you listeners our honest opinion on if it's worth it, if the food actually tastes good.
Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah, let us know, please. So drop a comment in a review on one of whatever listening platform you find us on, or on our Facebook page. You can always send us an email. We'd love to know if you do subscribe to this magazine or not. They do not sponsor anybody, so this is not a sponsored.
No, we haven't made it that far yet.
No. Eventually, one day, we will find somebody to
fingers crossed
sponsor us. But yeah, if there's other publications, books, classes, even online content that you would like us to take a look at and review, we will gladly do that for you. That's what we're here for. We are willing to do the legwork so that you don't have to.
Absolutely.
So
with multiple paws and toe as well.
Yeah. as the kitties are definitely joining us today in the podcast office.
Yep.
But I will, if you've never heard of the magazine, I will definitely leave a link so that you can check it out in the show notes. As I said again, this is not a sponsored review. I genuinely believe in this publication. There's some very beneficial information in this, especially with like the canning and the food preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't have a lot of land, that information alone is beneficial for
Right.
urban, homesteading.
Yep. And I'm actually just learning how to can myself, so who knows? Maybe I'll have to pick one up. Or just kind of steal one from her.
So remember, like we said before, like, hit, share, review, send your friends our way, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building your path to self-reliance.
This is Old Ways, New Days, reminding you that the best time to start homesteading was 20 years ago.
The second best time is today.